So you just got your insurance license and you're ready to get started selling insurance, but you're a little bit, maybe extremely overwhelmed. There's all of this learning you've got to compile and then present in front of a prospect. You've got carriers to learn, a sales training process to learn. It's driving you nuts, and you're wondering if you're even set out to do this job and wonder how can you sell insurance effectively and master it as quickly as possible. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents to sell nationwide final expense, Medicare, and annuities. And the topic of this training is how to quickly climb the insurance sales training curve. How do you become a master at selling insurance quickly and avoid all the pitfalls that are so common in this business? So the purpose of this video is really just to kind of give you some thoughts, some ideas of mine to help you overcome the difficulties that most new agents experience. And I can give you this perspective, not just from a producer standpoint. I've done this since 2011 in the final expense business as a personal producer, but I've also recruited agents since 2014, well over 1,300 now to date. So I know exactly what it's like for many agents, new agents, to get started in this business. And I know where they tend to get tripped up on. And so what I'm going to do in this video is tell you what I've experienced personally, professionally with other agents. The first thing that you really should spend time doing above all else is mastering the craft of selling insurance. Now, there's a lot of people who think that you got to spend a lot of time on carrier training, that the road to riches is understanding all the nuances with your carrier training. That just is not the case. It is important to understand your carriers, but it's exponentially more important to create a real-life human connection with your prospect, to gain their rapport, their trust, to establish your authority, because all of this is the foundation to you actually getting the sale. Without any of that, or a diminished form of that, I don't care if you're selling the best carrier in the world, they ain't going to want to do business with you because they don't like you. They think you're, a schlep. So you don't want to be in that position. Be in the position of being able to connect with your prospects. Be in a position to be able to be a human being with them. And that's where you should spend your time studying. And the way that typically turns out is that you spend more time studying the script, you spend more time in learning how to answer objections, how to ask effective questions, open-ended questions, how to rebuttal effectively, etc. That's what is going to matter more. So don't get stuck like a lot of agents thinking that it's product knowledge that makes the business successful or not. It does matter, but this business is full of people that you wouldn't ever expect that are very good at selling insurance that have just a marginal understanding. There's a lot of quote-unquote product nerds out there that cannot make a human connection and never make any kind of sales, or very few, because they just don't know the art and craft of selling insurance from a dynamic sales perspective. The next thing that's important is that it's important not to get wrapped up with this whole you got to know everything before you do anything mantra. This is a paradoxical business. I think that's a word, paradoxical. You get the idea. The paradox in this business is you really don't get good at it until you do it. And do it means like talk to people and try to sell them. You only get good enough, which good enough isn't that great, but there's no other choice. You can't study your way out of ignorance. So you can up to a point, I guess you could say. But ultimate mastery, comfort, and doing well comes from execution with a real-life prospect. Better yet, it comes from analyzing what your successes are, where your strengths lie, but also analyzing where your weaknesses lie, identifying the mistakes that you make in your sales presentation, and then resolving to fix those the first time. Again, a good rule of thumb, guys, in life is it's okay to make mistakes. Just don't repeat them, okay? I don't know about you, but I've always learned best from the big screw-ups I've made, and I've had to make them multiple times to realize if I just learn the first time around, then I would be that much well ahead in life. So make mistakes. Don't be afraid of that. That's how you're going to learn anyway. And identify them quickly and then rehab what you're doing to improve it and find that you're not going to make as many mistakes going on, and you'll just get that much better. One way to make or identify mistakes is to record your sales training calls and have your coach or mentor analyze them. This is huge in the Duford Insurance Group. One of the things we do multiple times a week is actually listen to live presentations, live appointment setting, live door knocking calls. They're not live like they're happening right now, but the recordings of them. And then I critique those for those agents in front of a group of agents to help that agent figure out what they could do better. For example, agent of mine, Don, down in Texas, really struggling to set appointments. We listened to some recordings of his. I identified 3 things that he wasn't doing right. He wasn't opening the call right. He wasn't closing it right. And there was maybe a little thing in between. He made those fixes, and within a couple of hours the following day, he had set 10 appointments. This is after struggling to get good appointments that actually kept. So this is kind of the flip side of this. Sometimes when you do or you analyze your sales presentation, you're like, what isn't wrong about this thing? And you become overwhelmed with all the things that you think you didn't do well. But many times our perception of what we did or didn't do is incorrect, because in the moment we're not thinking objectively. We're just trying to survive, right, when we're doing this thing for the first time. So this is where it becomes very handy to partner with an organization or an agency like mine that will actually listen to your sales calls and actively provide ideas on way to makes them better, because you'll have these aha moments like, I didn't even catch that. I didn't even know I was doing that. But then you realize after critiquing it's a big deal, and then you fix it. And then over time, you don't make those mistakes anymore. You kind of iron out all the wrinkles. You get better. You start closing more. You're more profitable. You're more happy. It's all good. So you want to make sure that in getting up and running, to climb that insurance sales training learning curve, is to get a feedback from somebody who is better than you or has been where you are currently, and to have somebody to help you mentor yourself along to the process. And then from there, it is just to repeat and rinse and to embrace the fact that it's taking action that what teaches you, more than just maniacal studying without any real-world application. It's a very tempting situation to fall into. A lot of agents do, which is this professional procrastination, aggressively getting ready theory. You want to try to avoid this. Take only a couple of weeks to learn your craft. Learn the sales presentation, then the carriers. Find a lead system that, of course, will apply to what it is that you're doing. And go out there and stop being a wuss. Just do the business, okay? Accept the fact that you're going to screw up. Accept the fact that you're going to fail on a minor level. It's okay to be exposed that you don't know everything. Everybody who knows something used to not know it. There was a time when Mozart couldn't play a piano, okay? He created timeless pieces that benefit billions of lives and will for hundreds of years. But he didn't know what he was doing to start. Neither do you. And so it's okay. It's okay you're in this vulnerable position. Don't let this stop you from achieving the goals that you want in your life, to achieving the lifestyle you want, to separating yourself from the corporate grind, to being proud of an honorable service that you're doing to many people across the nation, selling them insurance. This is worth being in an uncomfortable position. And as all of us know who have been through this, being uncomfortable is the precursor to success. It's the only way to do it. So embrace it, do it, take action, and you'll see all sorts of good things come from it. If you're interested in selling insurance and you're curious about joining my agency, maybe you're interested in final expense, annuities, or Medicare, want to learn more, click one of the links above or go to the link below. It's going to take you to my website. Start to navigate through the FAQ section. If you scroll to the very bottom of the page, you'll see some links at the bottom about different sales and marketing systems that I do. And if you got questions, reply back to me. There's a bunch of scrolling bars and contact forms. You can't miss it. Just click on it and send me a message. I read them all. I'll be happy to help you if you're interested in possibly joining my agency and seeing if it's a good fit. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below. Happy to help you out in getting started and mastering the craft of selling insurance. David Duford at daviddufour.com. Check it out. We'll see you later. Bye.